I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, May the 14th. Choice boxes were lower. Now hear this, that's true, choice boxes were lower for the first time significantly since the big rally started after the COVID-19 virus got real. But just been launching and launching and launching and way over double their value since the start of the COVID-19. But they were actually lower on Wednesday afternoon, not Wednesday morning. On Wednesday morning, they set a new all-time high of 478.74. Nobody would have ever believed that. 478.74 was the noontime quote. That was an all-time high. Then the afternoon, they ended the day lower. But that was big news there. Makes you think that maybe we're going to start to get things coming back into some semblance of normal. Some of you guys in the areas that are opening up are starting to see things at some semblance of normal. You know, we've got to get back to work. We've got to get to, you know, we're getting into the late spring here, the summertime. There's a lot of people that rely on crowds in the summertime to make their living for the whole year. And we've got to get things going for that. But we had some more news about the spot market bill that Chuck Grassley and Jon Tester introduced into Congress there on Tuesday. A lot of people come out and supported it. Of course, a lot of people come out and fight against it. And that's one reason we never get anything done. A lot of people were wondering how come it come out as 50-14 rather than 30-14. Well, we knew that 30 was a minimum. That was a floor, not a ceiling, and they're going to try to get all we can get. So it's 50-14 right now, guys, and we're trying to get that minimum of 50% negotiated cash trade volume per major packing plant. Of course, you got a lot of people that ruffle some feathers up, and then we had some outfits trying to make a big deal out of it. The fact that those cattle that need to be in the 30% for a minimum mandate does not include any dairy bred or dairy cross cattle, cattle over 30 months of age, or foreign born cattle. That's nothing new, guys. We've been talking about using the mandatory price reporting language to sort all this out. That's the way we want to regulate it. That's the way we want to monitor it. And that's how we want to get this deal pushed through. We've got the bill out there that we're wanting to get support on, and then we'd like to graft that on the reauthorization of mandatory price reporting. And right now, a cash sale that does not go in the cash basket. We're not going to establish the weighted average for all your cattle to be formulated off of using dairy bred, dairy cross cattle, cattle hard bone or over 30 months of age cattle, or foreign born cattle. That's always been the deal. That's our definition of cattle that can be considered as cash and set the cash base. So that's nothing new. Don't let that deal ruffle your feathers up. Wednesday afternoon we saw NCBA come out with a press release saying that they do not support the mandated minimum cash requirement. Surprise, surprise, guys. They prefer status quo. Just continue to do things like it's been done, and then I guess we'll just continue with a straight up and down vertical integration, and then NCBA can just have about 12 or 15 major members, and nobody else will have any business being in a cattlemen's association because they won't be able to afford to produce cattle. And I've told you guys time and time again, this minimum cash requirement on fed cattle, you know, buying off of your big feeders, it's not for your feeders, it's for your cattle producers to try to get some kind of a market level, market position established on these fed cattle so that your yearlings can bring more, so that your calves can bring a decent price, because we just keep whittling away at this fed cattle market until there's nothing left of it, and there's no derivative left for your cattle, your lighter cattle below it. So we've got to get something done there. In the NCBA letter, they say they do support price discovery, but not in this manner. So how the hell are you going to establish price discovery if you have no negotiation, no competition? We know this, and especially in your cattle, because of the good competition and price discovery we have in our auctions. Now we know that it's probably not feasible to run a significant number of cattle through a brick and mortar auction. You know that I support your online fed cattle exchange. We wish we'd get more support for that. That's an auction method. Those cattle being purchased through that fed cattle exchange or in a brick and mortar auction facility like they have in the Midwest, where they still get significant numbers of fed cattle, that would be considered a negotiated cash trade. So if we could get this deal pushed through at no matter what level percentage wise, but if we get that pushed through at a minimum mandate, then your packers would have to migrate to those kinds of markets to try to fulfill their minimum requirement. Wouldn't that be something if you saw a packer bid against another packer? Hasn't been seen for many, many years. But if you saw a major packer bidding against another packer, maybe in the country, maybe over the phone in a feedlot office somewhere, where one said, okay, I'll give you $1 for your show list, and another one says $1.01, and then the other guy come back at $1.02. Whoa. Now imagine that. Imagine that in a perfect scenario, raising the price levels on fed cattle. It would be, I would love to get some kind of a video or some tracking of something like that was going on, where we had a competitive market from major packers on a significant number of cattle. But we don't see that right now. On the cash market side, they come in, they shoot you in the foot, you either take it or you don't get called back the rest of that week, and then for punishment for not taking it, you don't get called back the next week or maybe the next. You get to sit on those cattle. That's the way it works right now. You guys know it. You guys in the know it. We're trying to prevent that. NCBA did invite lawmakers, including Chuck Grassley, to join in a search for an industry-led solution. So that shows how arrogant they are. They assume that an industry-led solution would be something that NCBA comes up with, or something that they put forth and try to pass and push. So they don't take into any account all the thousands and thousands of individuals out there. It's kind of like your people that don't go to church but are still religious. There's jillions of them out there that are proponents of cattlemen's issues. That they wear it on their sleeve, their heart's in it, but they don't like paying membership to one outfit and then watching them piss that money away or use it in a way that they don't appreciate. So they do it themselves. There's lots of individuals out there that are behind this minimum cash requirement deal. There's U.S. Cattlemen's Association members. There's a lot of RCAF people out there that are in support of minimum cash trade. They've already made a statement that they applaud the bill that Chuck Grassley and Jon Tester have put forward. So all those people are discounted. That they're not industry-led solution makers right there. Okay, what about your state affiliate members? Well, it was NCBA state affiliate associations, grassroots kind of deals that actually push this deal through. Now they're going to get scolded. NCBA will probably get the ruler out and smack them on the wrists or whatever they do for getting so bold to try to do something. But I've told you guys before, these state membership associations, that's where the rubber meets the road. Those are the guys that have to face their members every day. You're in Denver, or you're in downtown Denver, you're in Washington D.C., somewhere like that, or some highfalutin meeting with nothing but suits. You don't have to face those members. The grassroots guys, the guys in the state associations, the guys in the smaller than that, the tri-county, the local associations, They're the ones that have to face those producers every day. They see them in the auctions. They see them in at a farm sale somewhere. They see them in the grocery store. They have to face those people, and when they don't do anything, when they just sit and watch our box beef cutout values get to nearly $4.80, which would actually be equivalent for fat cattle to be bringing over $3 a pound on the hoof, and your best token bid out there is $1.15, and then you got to face producers that way, and you're supposed to be running some kind of a cattlemen's advocacy association, really? But so the hypocrisy is just so thick out here that it just makes you want to puke. But let's look at the board on Wednesday. June live cattle futures down hard. They were down hard Monday, up big Tuesday, down hard Wednesday. We're back to the yo-yo volatility that we've seen many times. But June live cattle futures down 330 at 93.87. They were up big earlier in the session. August down 327. That's beyond the initial limit into expanded limits at 98.42. You go on out front from there. June live cattle, or your live cattle contracts out front from August, were down 60 to down 267. May feeder cattle down $2 at 125.30. August down 267 at 133.07. You go on out front from there into next fall and beyond, down 187 to down 280. Fat cattle trade, we had more trade. It's funny, during this COVID deal, we're backed up on cattle. We can't get anything moved. We're in a bad shape here, and your packers are coming in buying a little dab of cattle every day. A little dab here and a little dab there. There's not really any competition. They are moving the prices up just a little bit because they just don't have the gall not to. And they've got DOJ investigators breathing down their neck. They're trying to show what good guys they are out there, even though our fundamentals suck. They're still giving, an extra couple of bucks here, maybe $5 dressed there, trying to hold things. And then at the same time, they're also trying to get the trades scattered around enough that it'll still post a price for our formulas to be based off of, and they've got all their formula selling partner feeders there, and they want to get the price up just a smidge for them to help them a little bit on their trade. Although, we're not really bitching about the fat cattle market. Our fat cattle market likely wouldn't be a whole lot different and probably wouldn't be as good as it is if we hadn't had this COVID deal. But we didn't expect your packers to tack $2.50 a pound on the box beef cutout values. Unbelievable. But Iowa, about 12,500 head confirmed. We've already got more trade than we had last week, guys, negotiated in the 5 area. 12,500 in Iowa. Live sales range from 113 to 117. Dress sales, big long range from 170 to 185. Nebraska, 10,800 head confirmed. Live sales 110 to 115. Dressed from 170 to 185. Kansas, about 3,900 there, from 110 to 115 live and 181 dressed. All these prices are firm to just a pinch higher on the top side, but quite a bit higher on the bottom side, from $5 to $10, maybe even $15 higher on the bottom side of the price range. But Texas, only about 300 head at $110. But a lot of that 110 was on the Fed Cattle Exchange that happened Wednesday morning. But that would be pretty much your established price live is 110. We've got some packers coming out and giving that 115 to save face, but as we saw last week, they're not really buying enough of them at those top prices to boost those weighted averages up there. It's just looking a little bit better, whenever you publish the prices. But box beef cutout values, like I said earlier, at noon posted all-time record highs, and we're probably headed back down a little bit now. But from now on, it'll likely be 478.74 for choice cuts as the all-time record high. Probably never to be seen again unless we get another perfect storm like this. But I think by the time that happens, a little bit of this will be shaken up and they likely won't get that done again. But by the end of the trading session there, choice cuts down $9.40 at $465.99. And you're saying they were down $9.40. Hell, that ain't nothing. They've been going up $20 and $30 a whack every day for the last several weeks. Well, to show you how crazy that was, the $9.40 down was an all-time record drop for one day there. Okay, selects 437.24 down 13.74 on the selects. Another pretty good movement. They've had pretty good movement every day this week for daily movement, about 132 loads of cuts, grinds, and trimmings. Our slaughter is starting to come back around a little bit. Other people are going to work, so the plant workers are thinking, what the hell, we might as well go back to work too. They've put safeguards in there to try to protect these workers more. We continue to see the media go on and on about hot spots striking up in the Midwest and the heartland. Yeah, really? Every town that they quote pretty much has a major packing plant in it, and they've been testing everybody there. If it's not a major meat packing plant, it's a huge prison or something like that where they're testing everybody. Huh? You think maybe the more they test, the more positives they come up with? Maybe. But we're seeing that we're starting to step this slaughter back up just a little bit all the time. 91,000 head for Wednesday estimated there. That's better than we've seen for darn near a month, guys. It's been down really hard, but starting to inch back a little bit. Now, normally we would kill maybe 120,000 head a day under normal circumstances if everything was going right. So, we're starting to get back close within reaching distance, but for the week, 266,000 through Wednesday. That's 29,000 more than last week, so we're going to get it up there pretty good, but still 97,000 less than the same week a year ago for this point in the week. Your feeder cattle market's real-time index on DV Auction through Cattle Market Central there, late in the day on Wednesday at 126.42, up another 59 cents, and you think 126.42 based on an 800-pound steer up through the middle 12 states? That's not too bad, guys, and we're actually starting to get some quotes here that sound pretty respectable in any date and time, let alone right during this crisis deal. But your big sale there, OKC West, El Reno, Oklahoma, 12,600 head for the two-day sale. Most all of them, your yearlings, still cleaning up your graze out wheat yearlings there, and had a big sale on Wednesday. You notice that 12,600 head they had this week. A year ago it was 1,800. That kind of gives you an idea. But feeder steers, $1 to $3 higher. Feeder heifers, $6 to $9 higher. Steer calves on Tuesday were $2 to $4 higher, and the heifer calves this week did not have a real good comparison for last week, so it's hard to put a trend on those. But awful good sale at OKC West in El Reno, Oklahoma. Some other big sales there. Cherokee Sales Company in Cherokee, Oklahoma, not all that far away. They had another 5,000 there. That's a big sale for that market. But I tell you what, they're selling a lot of cattle there at Cherokee Sales Company. My friend Jared Herman there. But look at these strains of steers that they sold at Cherokee on Wednesday. And pretty respectable price there. I'm going to pull out a couple in this listing that I thought were pretty impressive. 60 head of 914-pound steers, $120. And then this one, 59 head of 1,029-pound feeder steers, bring $108.50. That's the best I've seen for a while. Let's go out east, and I can tell you guys that they sell cattle pretty darn high in the southeast too, and not just one at a time in strings. Hardin County Stockyards in Savannah, Tennessee had a load of 855-pound steers, bring $118 through the ring there in Savannah, Tennessee at Hardin County Stockyards. That's impressive. But the best quote that I saw anywhere come out of Iowa, Bloomfield, Iowa there at the Bloomfield Livestock Market. Hilltop Ranch sold 198 head of 776-pound steers at $141.85. And that's your feeder flash for Thursday.